Today we're going to be taking a look at possible ideas for attunements. Fully fleshed out. Starting off with A, blood attunement. Now, the blood attunement is going to probably, right, if it were to drop, it would obviously focus around using your blood bar as a resource, right? You'd be using your blood bar as a resource, right? So, you know how like it's kind of split into 5 parts or whatever? Like this, right? If anything, I'd expect mantra cost. And the cost to use the mantras is not just ether, but your actual blood bar. So imagine like every mantra costing like half of a regular bar. So like 10% of your blood bar, right? Which can be kind of like risky because if you're already at like 60 or 50% blood in a fight, you know, you can only use your blood mantra so many times. In exchange though, right? Did I? I'm cutting out. It's because I'm hitting my microphone. In exchange for the mantras being powerful, you use a vital resource, which is your own blood. And that can cost you your own life sometimes if it gets a bit too risky, you know? So yeah, that's what I'll say about blood. Are we in a match yet? Nope. Next up is Dawnwalker. I'll do like Dawn. Dawnwalker because it's rainbow, right? With Dawnwalker, I'll say Dawnwalker can definitely be like it will definitely be like the, how do I say it? It will also have like cost resource management, but in return it gets cool shit. So unique talents that probably no other attunement can really relate to, which is the point of every attunement, right? But idea would be that in return for that, there's a bar you have to manage. We'll continue on after this match. Oh wait, never mind. There's only one guy here. So the bar, so it's similar to blood in a sense that there's a bar that you have to manage, but this one would be different, right? My idea is that you have like an empty bar that would probably sit right above your shit right here. So if you're a Dawnwalker, you get like a new bar on top of your posture, right? And this is like your Dawnwalker energy sort of bar. And so as you land more of your base moves, right? Moves that like don't require any Dawnwalker energy to cast, right? It charges up your Dawnwalker bar, right? And if they want to, they can make all Dawnwalker mantras like free to use or whatever. But I think it'd be really cool if like the 0 or 1 stars are free, well like the 2 to 3 stars. Yeah, we'll call it Radiant Energy, sure. You know what I'm saying? Your Radiant Energy gets charged up by the 0 to 1 stars. Meanwhile, your 2 to 3 stars and certain talents require the Radiant Energy, alright? So it's an attunement that you have to build up by landing the moves, right? It rewards you if you can land it, right? So against tougher opponents, it might be hard to use the much more useful talents, alright? And I've already brought this up before, right? The talent could be like anti-fall damage, right? You just take no fall damage, or like D-Sage TP dashes, right? Or like instead of doing a regular roll, it's like an instant roll, not even like a lightning cloak one. It's like an instant one, right? And they could probably have some like, they can continue going on with like even the current what's it called? The current Dawnwalker shit that we have right now, right? Or like for example, if you get hit by what's it called? Well, there's one where like if you land a Dawnwalker mantra, you see what I'm saying? It gives you like the little cloak or whatever. Where like you don't take like burn damage, you can't get suffocated, you can't get chilled, right? Shit like that. I mean, they could still have shit like that as well for certain things, but I'm really thinking about like, for example, that sort of talent can get tied into the bar, right? Or like you can like activate it, and for the duration of your energy being there, it like the more radiant energy you have, the longer it will last. So like maybe this could be like 8 seconds. If you have a full bar, it's like 20 seconds, right? Of like basically anti-burn damage, anti-this, anti-that, right? But in exchange, you're using up all your radiant energy that you built up, so it can be risky. So in exchange for having more defense, you burn up potential offensive capabilities, right? And so the whole point is that Dawnwalker you'd probably want Dawnwalker to be the weakest attunement if you have no radiant energy, right? In the meanwhile, if you have max energy, you want it to be pretty much the strongest. Someone says, isn't that just ether and tempo? Not necessarily, because the thing about ether is that ether, no, those are completely different. First off, ether is entirely reliant on something else, not landing your mantras. You can there's multiple ways to restore tempo, right? And with ether, your ether is always going back up. With a system like this, your radiant energy would stay the exact same no matter what. It only go down if you A, use a specific move, or B, if you're like using a specific talent. I'll explain the rest afterwards. I don't have right, so yeah, that'd be Dawnwalker. You'd have a new resource to manage. Point is that these two, the reason why I'm making these like two ideas for attunements different is because obviously you wouldn't want, and like we're getting what? This is gonna be our 6th attunement, right? At some point, if there's nothing that actually makes them clearly outstanding, you're gonna kind of, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna eventually run out of clear shits that you can do. So having, I think, different resources to manage besides just tempo and reservoir would clearly make it different. For blood, it'd be your blood bar. For Dawnwalker, it'd be an entire new bar. Now, as for other attunement ideas past blood and Dawnwalker, all there really is left is Earth. I'm just gonna say Earth Bender, bruh. Why not? Why can't I call it Earth Bending? Thank you for the 5. What's the name of the stream starting song? How Do You Think by Planet Dob. Earth. I know Earth is supposed to be like poisons and what's it called? Like, yeah, poisons and oil, right? Acid or whatever. So if anything, this would be your. This is gonna be your like your liquid sort of like attunement, right? I know blood is there, and blood can be that too. But like this one would probably like actually feel like you're playing with like water, you know. Blood I think would be more like you know how Chaser uses blood, where it's like the blood waves and then like the blood strikes. Like I feel like this would be a lot more like water bender type shit. Yeah, like not necessarily mud so much, but like the oils out of the ground and whatnot. Being able to control them. I don't know how it fit into the lore. As for the gameplay is like the toughest part. I mean, I guess. I don't know, gameplay, I think it kind of falls into that, like how the mantras are, right? Like for example, like I imagine there'd probably like, actually I don't even know, bruh, it's tough to think. Maybe like a mud pool that you can like summon up that's like a 3-star. It's like it's like, imagine like something like a mud pool that like slows enemies that are in it. You can like maybe extend the size of it, but it doesn't affect you or your allies. I don't know, bruh. I'm kind of lacking ideas in that department. Alright, what are some other good ideas though? For gameplay, I only got Blood and Dawnwalker figured out. Earth, I have like a couple base ideas, but ultimately that'd probably be one that's like tough. I know people were saying like gravity or like space. Like not space as in like, well no, like space as in like the space in space-time type sort of space, right? So I know gravity could be, but we have the gravity bell already, don't we? So, but I don't know. They could definitely do some interesting shit with like the ability to like bend space and like send your opponent like flying or sending them upwards, and like the higher they are, you can like throw them down with gravity or something like that, like an anti-air attack. Fun fact: did you guys know that Contractor used to have an anti-air attack? So anytime somebody was in the air, you know what happened? You know Equalizer where like it's the counter? That used to not be a counter, right? Anytime you would throw somebody in the air or like they'd be up in the air, you could like grapple onto them instantly and like do a bunch of damage. Or was it a lot? I think it was a lot of damage. Oh no, it was Judgment except way faster and it did more damage, I think. Right? So like if they're in the air, and then you would like instantly like do some shit, right? And I wish they added that as like an extra like thing for Judgment or something like that, where like if you Judgment somebody in the air, it's like the fast version of the old Equalizer, which I thought was really cool. But you know, I mean, we get the funny counter. So if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to go click on these other videos, man, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.